And we're back for episode 4.
We are still sponsored by the makers of Bloom. That's pretty much all we have so far for our sponsors. We're working on more, but they will come.
They will come. So today we've got a great show for you. We'll go over the draft, talk about the best and worst picks, and we will be joined by a special guest, Commissioner Jones. Following that, we will be revealing the results of the vote for the best and worst draft. They might surprise you. Following that, we will have a first ever look at the historic head-to-head records of every team in the league versus every other team in the league.
Awesome. Yeah, listen, this show is action-packed. There's a lot. It's our first guest. I think,
Without further ado, let's bring on our very first guest, Commissioner Jones. Welcome to the show, President Jones.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, we're really glad you could make it.
Yes, we are.
I'm a busy man, but I do the things I have to keep the league running. You've never seen me and Commissioner Goodell in the same room at the same time.
Yeah, so this segment, we are going to be talking all about the draft.
There it is. I'm gonna circle a pick that I just already hate. See if it shows up for you guys.
Yeah, that worked. Yeah, so what a draft we had.
Yeah, let me go ahead and jump in real quick. First of all, it's been a long time coming, but every single person made it to the draft. Now that everyone was there, we can really just collectively see how many shit picks there were.
So many shit picks. I want to hear the commissioner's opinion on that blockbuster pre-draft trade, first in league history.
Shitty trade. Chris, congratulations. You fucked yourself. Just look at the players involved. I mean, Jonathan Taylor and Juju for Aaron Jones and Michael Pittman. We already have a huge contender for things, please.
Was there any pick that you saw that you're like, man, I don't love that, but you're hopeful?
You guys really fucked me at the 3-4 turn. Michael Thomas hurt his hamstring in between when I drafted him and now, so not feeling great about that one.
Why don't we each go through and choose our favorite pick and our least favorite pick?
Worst pick that I just hated right from the jump. It's the Christian McCaffrey pick. I hate this guy, but actually, I think this Cam Akers pick in the second round here from Omaha, that pick stinks. Also want to add Chris's team stinks. Every single one of his picks also stink.
What about a pick that you like?
I look at my team and every single pick I made is unbelievable. But I actually look at your team and I think the Cordell Patterson, I love that pick because who's doing anything in Atlanta this year?
Let's hear from the commissioner.
Gotta agree with Goose. Do not love this Cam Akers pick. Number 2, B-Boy with J.K. Dobbins in the 3rd. Number 3, Antonio Gibson. He was punt protected. He returned a kick. I don't know what's going on there, but it ain't good.
Okay, what about picks that you like, though?
Dalton Schultz in the 8th round.
If I had to pick, my least favorite, Antonio Gibson was a horrible pick, and Dobbins was also a horrible pick. I think I just keep hammering on Nihal for this Gibson pick. I'd rather have Dylan. I'd rather have Clyde. I'd rather have Jacobs. I'd rather have Mitchell. Hell, maybe I'd even rather have Pollard or Kareem Hunt. On the flip side, when I go to talk about my favorite picks, I actually really like this Melvin Gordon pick. And another pick that I really like is obviously Dameon Pierce, who has proven himself already to be a future Hall of Famer.
Stabby was the first guy to take a defense right off the gates with the Buffalo Bills. What do you guys think about him?
Stabby, you might need to put the pen down.
Commissioner Jones, do you have any closing remarks you'd like to make?
Guys, I'm really looking forward to a great season. I'm coming back and I'm planning to assert myself and put myself back at the top of this league. Welcome back, Matt. Welcome back, Gabe. Fuck you, Lyle.
One more question, though, before you go. Give me your top 2 to 3 teams are the biggest threats in your opinion.
I love Gabe's team. I think Gabe's got a pretty good squad. Goose, I really like your team as well. I think you've got a lot of firepower. And honestly, Quaz, I really like your squad too.
Wow, sounds like the commissioner knows which side his bread is buttered on.
Right, looks like he'll be invited on the show anytime he wants. Anytime you want, just let us know when you're available. We'd love to have you. Well, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you so much for joining us. This was great. Well, that was awesome.
I know everyone is eagerly awaiting the results of the best and worst draft voting.
All right, let's go. Drum roll, baby. I got so many drums.
And the winner of best draft is Gabe.
First of all, I'd like to point out Gabe, handsome as hell in his picture. We love that fact that we're using these LinkedIn photos, which is fantastic.
You know, we always talk about how much of a bell cow league this is, and yet he's the only one who went bell cow, bell cow, bell cow. Henry, Lenny, and Javante. Are you surprised at all that he was the most voted for best draft?
Oh, I love the Derrick Henry pick. I love the Lenny Fournette pick. I even love the Javante Williams pick. Even the tight end pick is really solid. And he also sniped a rookie wide receiver who's going to be amazing, I think, personally, Garrett Wilson.
And so we had a tie for the runner-up. Myself and Stavi both received 5 out of 11 votes.
I think you got a great core 6 or 5.
Stavi has JT and Mixon. Just looking at it, it's like, come on. The only question with Stavi's team is obviously at wide receiver. All right, so if we can get another drum roll, we will reveal the shocking winner of Worst Draft. No surprises here. Winner of Worst Draft is Chris. What more needs to be said?
I really don't have much to say.
He got 10 of 11 votes. I don't know who the 11th person who did not vote Chris for bottom 3 draft was, but then we've got runners-up B-Boy and Dom. Everyone knows Chris's team sucks. Giving him enough shit. Let's move on to the runner-up for Worst Draft.
Yeah,
that was actually B-Boy. He'll be delighted. He loves being the underdog. Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. This team sucks. Like, Dobbins and Breece Hall, he could end up with 0 RB1s.
I look at the team, and the first 2 picks are fucking stellar. I'm like, holy hell, he's got top receivers that are going to catch a lot of balls. And then you're like, this is a bell cow league. I totally forgot.
And then the third place for Worst Draft was obviously Dom. Does he have an RB2? Like, did he really need to pick Gabriel Davis here when he could have picked up Josh Jacobs, for example? Or Elijah Mitchell?
Or Missile. Or, yeah, Kay Walker is not doing so hot.
Everyone knows that it's Penny's team. Let's pull up the rest of the results just so everyone can see the only teams to not receive a vote for Best Draft. Chris, B-Boy, and DJ. There were 4 teams that received no votes for Worst Draft. That was myself, Gabe, Stavi, and Rich.
Who voted me as Worst Draft?
Let me remind you, this isn't Worst Draft. This is, you picked 3. So that just means that in the bottom quarter. Also, who the hell didn't vote? We only received 11 votes.
I was literally just about to say that. It's a 12-man league, and there's 11 votes. What's happening here? We all showed up to the draft. I'm looking at you right now. Look at me in the eyes. Whoever didn't vote, we'll find you. Booted.
So let's move on to our next segment. And in this segment, we are going to talk about the divisions for this year. Divisions are meaningless for seeding purposes in the playoffs, but they are meaningful in that you do play each of your division mates twice per year. You play everyone else just once.
Let's start with the top one. I looked at 2 people that I kind of eye to come out of that division. That's DJ and Rich. No disrespect to Nihal. A lot of disrespect to Chris because his team stinks. The next division. So we know that Omar's going for the next 3 years is probably going to have a shit team.
The second and third most voted for Worst Draft teams are B-Boy and Dom. They're both in my division. Feeling a little bit good about that, for sure.
Let's not sleep on my division. Arguably the toughest division.
Yeah, and Stavi was second in the votes for Best Draft. Matt was also voted, I believe, 4th for Best Draft. You've got the 1st, 2nd, and 4th Best Drafts in your division. All right, so let's dive into some of these divisions. First off, we've got Division 1. Right away, the thing that sticks out to me the most about this division is the perennial rivalry between DJ and Rich. DJ is 4-1 against Rich in the regular season, 6-1 if you count playoffs, where he has bounced him twice. And they're going to play 2 more times this year. So week 3, that's going to be DJ versus Rich. Pencil that one in. That's going to be a great week to watch. And also, week 14 is again going to be DJ versus Rich.
I'm circling that game, that week 3 is going to be a big game, you know?
Huge game. I mean, when you look at these records...
Is it DJ's division to win and or lose? Yes.
All right, so let's move over to Division 2, my division. A lot of parity, actually, if you look around.
I look at this right here. Slugfest of a rivalry here. You need to shape up because Brennan, it's got your number. This is a big one for Omar.
Dom has a losing record against all 3 teams, but, you know, it's not an egregious losing record. 1 and 2 is perfectly respectable. So Division 3, not as many games between a lot of these players due to the hiatus from Matt and Gabe. Most obvious thing to call out is the slugfest between you and Stavi. here. Stabby has your number. He's up 4-3 out of 7 games.
I'm going to get him. I'll tell you, we're splitting those like freaking taters. You know, I'm not so pumped about playing Matt twice and playing Gabe twice and even playing Stabby twice. But listen, that's just the bed that has been made, and I'm going to sleep good in it.
Division 3 seems like it's going to be the hardest division. Now that we've looked at all of the division head-to-head records, let's just really quickly look at the full league. And so you can see there's some actually interesting cross-division rivalries. Gabe's 4-0 versus B-Boy.
Look at this one, too. I'd love to point out. Hey, now, circle this puppy. What's up, boy? Yeah, 5-2. Let's go.
Rich is 4-0 versus Omar.
Look at these, though. Right here, these 0-3s.
Yep.
Suck on that.
We're going to have Rich versus Omar is going to be week 10. And then week 8, we will have Gabe versus B-Boy. And we'll see if B-Boy can right the ship there and take a win off of Gabe. So that just about does it for the show. Week 1 starts on Thursday, September 8th with the Bills versus the Rams. I'm stoked because I've got Josh Allen and I've got Pat Coop. So definitely watching that game.
Again, thanks everyone for making the trek to Vegas for the draft.
That's the show. This has been the Makers of Bloom. Catch you after
Bloom.
week 1.
Blue.